Hey everybody, welcome to History Made Awesome. My name is Eric, and today we are starting off a new series called Talking History. Now, what is Talking History, you may ask? Well, it is basically a Q&A series where we talk to people in the history community and find out what they're doing to add to the study of the past, and at the same time try to have a little bit of fun. So the way that each episode will work is I'll be asking my guests 10 questions, ranging from very thought-provoking questions to questions I would say are a lot more fun and not as thought-provoking. So that's basically how this series is going to work. So for episode 1, I thought it would be best for me to start off the series. Now the questions I chose were questions that I saw you guys have in other videos, and other questions I think you guys might want to know about me and things of that nature. So let's go into it. Question number 1. What is your educational background? So if you guys have seen my bio, and if you guys have seen my other videos, you would know that I got my undergraduate degree in history at the University of California, Davis. At the same time, while I was there, I minored in anthropology. And recently, I got accepted into graduate school at the University at Buffalo, where I'll also be studying history. And while I am there, I will be studying insurgency, and more specifically, the effects that the Peninsular War had on the development of Spanish citizenship and the basic nationalism for Spain, and also how within that same, I guess, research study is basically like how did the insurgency that was embedded within the Peninsular War and Total War at the same time kind of affected Spanish nationalism and Spanish citizenship. That's basically my educational background. Yeah, that's kind of what I do. Next question. How old are you? I am 24 years old. Yep. So if you guys are wondering why I put this question here, the reason why is because people were questioning the fact that I cannot be an historian because I am young. So basically, a couple problems with that. An historian, if you look at the definition, it has nothing to say about age. Actually, if you look at the definition of historian, it says an expert in or student of history, especially that of a particular period, geographical region, or social phenomenon. So I have already I've actually written about history and actually done the work that an historian does. Maybe not to the level of someone who's been doing it for 8 or 10 years or who's gone to, graduate school and done all that stuff. But I have written about history, and I've talked about that in another video. I'll put the link so you guys can check that part out. But yeah, that's how old I am, and if you guys should a lot of you guys should reconsider what an historian is, I think, and what it takes to become an historian. So, yep, that's question number 2. Question number 3. Why did you choose history as a career path? So, the reason why I chose history as a career path is because I really enjoy history. And the reason why I enjoy history a lot is because a couple of reasons. When I first started out, I would say that the reason why I liked history is because it's almost like a story element to it. You're finding a story of like us, and the way that I just basically like you're just reading stories is basically what you do all day. Now, as you get older and as you start getting like higher into history and the different more advanced levels, you would say that story becomes a lot more complicated, not straightforward. But yeah, that's one reason why I do like history. Another reason why is because I think not only is it a story in a sense, it's more of a story of like how we got there. And for me, one of the reasons why I enjoy history is because I kind of want to know why we're at the state we're in, either militarily or politically or socially, whatever that may be. I feel like history has some type of key to discovering what that is. And for me, I find that really intriguing as well. So yeah, that's basically why I chose history as a career path, because I love doing it and I love everything about it. Also, I like teaching as well, so that's something I really want to do in the future. And yeah, that's basically why I chose history as a career path. Question number 4. Who is your favorite historical figure and why? So, my favorite historical figure is Napoleon Bonaparte. And the reason why is because, one, his story is amazing. It's almost like a rags to riches story in the shape that, Napoleon came from a family that was, they were well off, but they were more in social well-off than in financial well-off or economic terms well-off. And then basically him come from that type of background. Also, when he comes to France, he doesn't speak French, or if he does, he speaks with a very heavy Italian accent. He does actually, I think he does speak French, but I think he speaks it with a very heavily Italian accent. And he's coming in like a foreigner, and that's something that he was picked on in school at the same time. And then from there, he rises at this time when France is going through a very deeply, revolutionary time, but also a very, things are changing very fast, and there's lots of chaos and things of that nature. And from there, he's able to go through all those things and rise up to become a very important person that everyone talks about now. And also, he's a brilliant military general at the same time, which is something that as someone who studies military history, I find all that kind of interesting at the same time. And so that is why he's his favorite historical figure. And also to add onto that as well, is just like basically him coming back and almost getting to regain everything he lost. Just everything about his story is really cool. So yep, that's my favorite historical figure and why. Okay, question number 5. What is one subject in history or time period you would like to know more about? Good question. I would say the one thing I'd like to know more about in history is I would say for now, one thing I am trying to learn more about is the revolutions that occurred in 1848 and kind of why did it spread all over, and what were some things that led to it. And for me, I would like to see maybe why did Spain not go through those revolutions? What made the Spanish Revolution more unique in a sense? Not the Spanish Revolution, but the civil wars that occurred, or why was there lack of a revolution in 1848? I would say that's one thing I'm trying to learn more. I would also like to learn more about Roman history. I used to read a lot about it as a kid, and I like to kind of go more deeper into that. Ancient history, I would say. That's something I would also like to learn more about as well. But yeah, that's question number 5. Question number 6. What is your favorite history book and why? I would say that my favorite history book would have to be David Bell's The First Total War. The reason why? I would say the reason why it's my favorite book is because I think it's a reimagining of Napoleonic warfare in the sense that it's not just, a Napoleon guy who's this amazing general and just defeats everyone. It shows more of like, not only did Napoleon do these things, but he was doing things at a much social level and also a larger political level that allowed him to be successful. And then those things that he decided to do allowed him to be a successful general, and also affected European history and the way in which it basically affected European life in a very, I would say, destructive, but it would lay the seeds for things that would go on to happen in the future. I would say that is why that is my favorite book. So question number 7. If you weren't studying history, what would you do as a career? If I was not studying history, what would I do as a career? I would probably coach soccer, I would say. Either because if you guys didn't know, I was actually a pretty decent soccer player. I got into coaching, I would say coaching would be something that I would do as a career. I don't know how good I would be at it, but yeah, I would coach soccer, I think. That's something that I would do. Question number 8. If you're able to travel back in time, would you rewrite history? If yes, what would you change and why? I would say that I would not change history. The reason why is because if you try to change history, there's too many variables, too many things that can happen. And I find that even though there's terrible things that do happen, people learn from it and can see, that was a very terrible act and something that we should not kind of redo. And the world usually gets better after that. I would say, yep, that would be my answer. Question number 9. Favorite historically based movie or TV show, and why? I would say that my favorite historically based movie or TV show would be... Ooh, that's a very good question. It's funny because they're both kind of very similar. I would have to say Outlander. I would say Outlander would probably be my best because I feel they do a decent enough job of sticking to history in a sense. Oh wait, I don't know. Do I want to change my answer? No, I'm staying with it. Yeah, so I think they do a good enough job to stick to history in a sense and don't really try to, I guess not break it, but try to make things that didn't happen to fit the story. They're able to do a good job of kind of, keeping everything together or basically making the story within history in a sense without having, break the laws of history or what didn't happen. And I think the acting's excellent. I think the story without the history is excellent at the same time. Acting's amazing. The sets and everything looks amazing, and just, yeah, I would say Outlander. If you guys were wondering what I was also going to choose, it was either between El Ministerio del Tiempo, which is the Ministry of Time, which is a Spanish television show, which is kind of similar. It's going back in history in a sense, trying to change the past. If you guys want to see it, it's on Netflix. And the third one I have to say would be Victoria. Those would be the other ones I would choose as my favorite historically based TV show or movie. Question number 10. Why History Made Awesome? So the reason why I made this YouTube channel is because a couple things. One of them is because I think I can provide something on YouTube that no one else can really provide on this platform. One of them is that I'm actively involved in the community of people who make history that a lot of people who talk about history use to make their videos. And so in that sense, I can kind of provide some insight into that world in the sense that these are what people think about. This is kind of how history is really made in a sense, and kind of provide my own insight and not only my journey but also their journey as well to that final product that we see in books and things of that nature. Another reason is because I really do enjoy history, and so I want to kind of provide my insight and basically my love for history and share it on YouTube in an interesting and fascinating way. Also to educate at the same time, maybe kind of make some educational content that is thought-provoking and interesting and a lot deeper level that talks not just what happened at that time period, but how does it affect the world we live in a sense, or the world that was created in which we live in a sense. And yeah, so I think that's the reason why I made History Made Awesome and why I think I'll keep making videos. So yeah, so hopefully you guys enjoyed those questions. I will definitely do another video if you guys ask me some questions. And if you guys didn't like my questions or whatever, I'll definitely take your guys' questions. Just comment on the video, and I'll look at them, and I'll make another video of it. And it won't be twin questions. It'll probably be a much longer video if you guys have a lot of questions for me. And yeah, so I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and we will definitely have more people, not just myself, but who will come onto the program and talk about it. And yeah, so it won't just be about me, and hopefully it'll be about the community at large. So hopefully you guys enjoyed the video, and we'll definitely be making it better as time goes on. And yeah, so see you guys later. Please leave a like, subscribe, and if you guys liked it, and yeah, that's it. Bye-bye.